Seriously, we're gonna do more time content. Yeah, but just hear me out. This actually is really good for both dungeon content and time as well. Okay, what about bosses? Bosses any good? Is it good against bosses? Actually, yeah, it would do really good against bosses. This template specializes in just building damage the longer you're fighting something. So yeah, bosses would be great. All right, you piqued my interest. What do you got? This is the Frost Armor Void Axe Bleeder. A challenging fight. I'll just rest here for a little bit, and then we'll get back into the fray and fight more of these mesmers and reflections. Alright, and as you guys know, in respect of your time and the Italian Spartacus way, the TLDW. That way you can get to training your character in hopes of one day becoming the Avatar of Time. And with that, my friends, sit back, grab yourself a beer, and let's talk about it. Alright, starting with the template Chivalry at 120, the Dexter's Toolkit. Personally, I keep Dispel Evil for defensive purposes on auto, Consecrate Weapon for more damage on my bleeds, and Divine Fury for some major swing speed. All three of them on auto. As long as I don't really use anything else, those three are pretty much always active. Next we'll do Tactics at 100. More tactics means more melee damage means more bleed damage, and yep, that sounds good. Coming up next, 80 for Anatomy. That once again is more melee damage, which means more bleed damage. We get an increased chance for weapon finishers, as well as swing speed. In terms of defense, this gives us a reduction to bleed and disease damage, and also helps us heal with less bandage slipping. Also, since we have Arms Lore, we can hamstring if needed in PvP. Next is, like I just said, Arms Lore at 80. Out in a maze, you're far from home. It's likely your armor and weapons may become worn down, but Arms Lore will help with that tremendously. Our main purpose for this is the significant increased chance to bleed our target with swords. We also will be able to use our weapon ability, Rend, far more often. Also that sweet swing speed. And lastly, let's not forget about the Disarms Arms Lore provides, which increases our accuracy and damage done to the creature disarmed. Next is parrying at 80. We need 80 for the parry codex, and we definitely need the parry codex. I mean, parry is almost a must for Dexter templates these days. Taking hits both in time as well as regular dungeons, you just gotta have it. More on the codex though shortly. Healing at 80 is needed for the healing codex, and boy oh boy is that healing codex sweet. Again, we'll speak on that shortly as well. Next we'll do magic resist at 80. This will reduce the amount of damage taken from spells. It'll also help us to resist curses or poisons or other effects such as that. Magic resist also increases our swing speed as well as overall damage resistance. Not only that, an aggressive Dexter in PvP with magic resist can oftentimes best a solo mage PK. Learning how to off-screen and use monsters and the rest of the environment can quickly run a mage out of mana and ensure victory for the Dexter. Next is swordsmanship at 80. Look, if your aspect is low, this will need to increase. We need at least 80 though for the swords codex, but otherwise, adjust accordingly for more accuracy. We chose swordsmanship due to the bleed ability. We also wield an axe, so our hits are big, thus making the bleeds big as well. The beauty is, two-handed weapons still utilize parry and the parry codex, while dealing massive amounts of damage. Next is focus at 20, just 20. Feel free to move this into swordsmanship if you're still low on aspect or accuracy. This along with a few swing speed links puts us at swing speed cap. This also is helping with accuracy as well. Moving on to aspect, Frost Armor is our armor of choice. Hot Mama is this aspect amazing. Maybe Hot Mama wasn't really the best choice of words, but it's badass. Hear me out. The armor alone applies a stacking chill effect that gives a damage bonus, as well as damage resistance bonus. So the longer you're fighting a monster, the stronger you're becoming against it. The Frost Shell is God's gift to defense, protecting you from that which would have likely killed you otherwise. In each video for time we have spoken about the importance of it, and this works as a great template to level with it. For the weapon, we're going to go Void Weapon. Not only does this weapon provide us with a massive direct damage to the target we are fighting on proc, but it also gives us more damage and damage resistance against that target. It feels so freaking good when you proc Void. After you've been stacking Frost, get a couple of bleeds off and then rend your target, sometimes giving you bleeds in the thousands. As far as the codex goes, On swords, I play around with warrior and flaying. Flaying is great for more bleed damage, but warrior gives us more defense, more accuracy, as well as overall damage. Basically, if the monster has higher than normal wrestling or deals a fair amount of damage, I'm in warrior. Otherwise, flaying. For the finisher, we're going with execute. If we're fighting a boss, I'll likely switch to bleed out. On the weapon ability, it's definitely rend. This absolves all bleed effects and then increases all new bleed damage by 25% for the next 15 seconds. On the parry codex, honestly, I almost want to take this part out of future videos, as it's literally always situational. As far as time maze is concerned though, which is what you see in the video here, I'm always in mirror. For general dungeon farming, I'm often in shield bash. Most would call for bulwark, but I don't sit still long enough to make use of it often. The fluctuation in defense makes me not much of a fan of that particular stance. Onto the healing codex, combat medic for 6 points. 9% bonus to damage resistance over the next 15 seconds. Next we'll do overheal for 1 point. That's an additional 10% of bandage healing amounts are applied to the patient over the next 3 seconds. 6 points into pressure points, that's 21% more melee damage bonus against creatures. Next is triage for 1 point. While being bandaged, you receive a 3% damage resistance bonus. This is doubled if you're below 33%. Self-treatment for 6 points. This reduces the time to bandage yourself by 3 seconds. As far as some ideas for your mastery chain, I mean, obviously Slayer links. I hate Slayer links. They're really good, but it's just like, you know what? This isn't the time for it. You guys have all watched and heard me rant about it. So yeah, Slayer links. Damage to bleeding targets is a great one, as your targets will be bleeding most of the time. Melee swing speed up to the cap is an obvious choice. Weapon special chance and damage is obviously a great one as well. More bleeds and stronger ones at that. If you got them, even melee aspect effects chance links are helpful as well. And there you have it, folks. The Swords Frost Bleeder template that I was using just prior to Link 30, and then I've also been using after Link 30, farming Redline in the maze and other places like the wilderness. As you guys know, I don't personally prefer Dexter templates. I tend to get a little bored of them rather quickly, but this one's been a lot of fun. It's just, there's something about seeing all those numbers that are not just little numbers, but very large numbers stacking up above the monster's head and the monster's life just going down super fast. Also, hitting that rend button, it just feels really cool when you got some big bleeds on it and then he just loses so much of their life every time. It's really cool. Other than that, guys, make sure to come by the live streams most evenings at 8:30 p.m. Eastern, right here on YouTube, Twitch, Kick, Twitter, and Facebook. That's right, 5 different platforms for you to choose from. Do me a favor, guys, comment below your favorite emote. Even you could comment below the next video content idea, just whatever it is, throw a comment, like the stream. Really appreciate you guys. I'll see you next week. Pawn Star Gaming out.